Hey guys, how's it going? This right here is a Google Pixel 4a and I have installed on this the Android 12 Developer Preview 1, or as it's codenamed Android Snowcone or Android S or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, well, it's a video all about changes and well, there are a ton of them. So go on, strap on your seatbelts, grab a box of popcorn. This is Varun from Guidey Tech and you're watching my full in-depth list of everything new introduced with Android 12 Developer Preview 1. Let's get started. Okay, now I'll be dividing this video into 6 segments or chapters for YouTube, talking about different visual elements, new visual elements that are not enabled by default but have to be enabled manually, then some ease of use features, some security features, and finally some under the hood features. Alright, so let's kick things off with some visual changes. So let me just dig down into the settings, and right off the bat, one thing that you'll notice is this new settings layout. So what you can see happens here is that it's a little bit broader, it's a bit more wider. So basically what happens is that it's easier to interact with your thumb. So the search bar is at the top and your profile picture is a little bit bigger. So yeah, it all looks a little bit similar yet slightly different and slightly tweaked. Now speaking about things that are bigger, take a look at these toggles right here. So not only are they a bit bigger, but you also get these nice little tick check mark right next to it when the toggle is enabled. Now that's a very neat feature, and honestly it's one of those things that I never knew I needed so much. So thank you Google for that. Now digging inside the pages, you'll find this bluish tint which adds a dual tone finish. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's basically there to, well, add a subtle flair and increase the overall readability, though if it's not customizable, then you won't really enjoy it. Speaking about customizability, we will be talking about some more features, so stay tuned and watch this video till the very end. That's it. Proceeding forward, the blue tint here also applies to the dark mode. So gone is your AMOLED dark mode with the pure blacks. Instead, if you enable the dark mode, you will now get this darker navy blue shade, which, okay, I'll be honest, it does look slightly more comfortable. I mean, it's easier to look at, but I mean, I'm still a fan of pure AMOLED, so yeah, not really a fan of this change. Now, while we have the notification tray turned open, let's take a look at those blur text behind it. Yeah, blur text. I mean, so basically what happens is that, well, the property is supposed to be called blur in the code if you go about looking at all the strings and everything. But in reality, like as you can see, how it actually ends up looking is basically you just add a white layer and reduce the opacity. There is practically zero blur here, and honestly if you're looking at something like me, okay, if you have the app drawer open and then you open the notification tray, the app icons are fine, but then you also have the app text in the behind, and all of that, because it's not blurred, it just becomes way too distracting. Okay, now check this out. Now, another new feature that you get in the notification tray is the media tile. So, okay, media tiles have been there for a while now. They were introduced with Android 11, but what's new here is that now they are a bit bigger, the controls are a bit bigger, and well, it's a little more easier to interact with. The only downside here is the fact that because you have to incorporate all these bigger controls, you have to compromise on something, and the compromise here is the fact that, well, you do not get to see which app is actually playing the music, but you only get an icon. That's it. Speaking about apps, the music tile now lets you figure out which apps you want to have a music control tile showing up in the notification tray. So you can just do that easily right here. Now there's also another new quick settings toggle at the top, which basically it lets you reduce all the bright colors. Now this is just an accessibility feature to reduce the bright portions of the screen when you already have the screen brightness reduced. So well, yeah, it is there. I don't really see a point of it, but yeah, it's there. So there is a slight change to the locking mechanism. You now get a new pattern animation which is a little more bouncy, and you also get that background bokeh which looks slightly subtle, opaque, and it's there. I mean, yes, it's a change, it's not a big change, but yeah. Okay, so those were the visual changes that are available to anyone out there who installs Android 12 on their Pixel devices. We already have a guide talking about how you can install Android 12 on your Pixel devices, so make sure you check that out from here or by the link in the description box. But those are changes that everyone will see. That said, there are a lot of features hidden inside the settings that you have to manually enable via different feature flags and tweaking the settings and a lot of developer stuff, considering it's a developer preview, obviously. So we have managed to do some of them, and for others we took the help of our friends in the industry. So let's talk about them. Okay, first up is this big overhaul, which is similar to the UI on Samsung's One UI, but Android is calling it Silky Home. Yeah, that's a very weird name, but let's just move past that. And to be honest, the feature actually looks very good. I mean, the UI definitely looks very good. It's still quite buggy at this point of time. Obviously, it's a developer preview, but for what it's worth, everything is pushed down and the overall reachability factor is quite greatly enhanced. I mean, I am still using this on a Pixel 4a, which is already a very easy to use and ergonomic device, even for one-handed usage. But with the One UI enabled, or sorry, not One UI, but Silky Home enabled, it definitely looks and feels far better. So yeah, that's good. Anyway, let's move past that, and adding on to that one-handed usage, we have a dedicated one-handed mode coming with Android 12. Now, I was personally able to just figure out the feature flags and the strings about this. I wasn't able to manually enable it, but we have Mishal Rahman, who is the legendary editor for XDA, and he was able to figure out and get it working as well. So here's how it works, and the way it essentially features is basically similar to iPhone's reachability factor. Basically, half of the screen is pushed down and you can kind of use it. But yeah, moving along, we have another big change in terms of the visual flair, which is the Monet theming system. So what it does is that it dynamically changes your quick settings icons, your basically accent colors and everything based on the wallpaper that you set. Now, this was something that nobody else was able to actually figure out, but K-Dragon, who is one of the most renowned developers out there for many custom ROMs out there, he was able to manually enable it. So big shout out to you, bro. And he has helped us with the screenshots and the screen recording of how it actually functions. So you just apply a wallpaper of your choice and the system will automatically determine what colors that wallpaper is made up of and basically apply or change the quick settings icons and everything all dynamically. So yeah, that is great. Yeah, big shout out to K-Dragon for enabling this. And that's not all. There are a couple of more UI changes coming in with a new lock screen UI, a new AMOLED UI, a new notification shade, new quick setting toggles which will have the icons, no text underneath. There are a couple of changes that a lot of other publications have been able to figure out by enabling different feature flags. Honestly, it all looks good, but at the same time, this is a developer preview and Google has a habit of, teasing stuff and then removing it at the very last. So I won't really dig into this at this point. Okay, now moving along with Android 12, your native screenshots have finally become so much better. Like, okay, my favorite feature, okay, I think you just saw what I did. My favorite feature right now is the fact that you can easily just swipe to dismiss the screenshot taken, overlay or pop-up or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it was so annoying previously that you had to tap on the cross icon. So yeah, just able to swipe it across the screen makes it far more easier. Also, if you are into editing your screenshots with Android 11 and the previous versions, we got the markup tool. But with Android 12, the markup tool also gets some new added features, which is the ability to add emojis, or you can even add your custom text here, something like this. So yeah, that in itself is a big feature for someone who does not want to open a dedicated app for, well, adding some text like this. So yeah, now also another feature that we weren't able to enable right now but is existing on Android 12 is scrolling screenshots. It's pretty broken right now, so rest assured I did not really put in much effort into trying to enable it. It's not that well functioning, but basically what happens is when you take a screenshot by pressing the power button or the volume button, you'll get this icon, but right next to the edit icon you will get a extend option, which will basically be a scrolling screenshot, an extended screenshot, or a long screenshot, or whatever you want to call it. Right now it's broken, so let's not talk about it. Okay, now there are some ease of use features. One of them, which is the ability to easily snooze your notifications. Okay, now this is a very welcome change. So earlier, if I had to snooze my notifications, I had to just dig into the settings and like go through different menus, right? Well, now if an app supports snoozing of their notifications, you'll get this kind of an icon right on that notification. Just tap on it, select the timer, and that's it. It's snoozed. As simple as that. Okay, now moving along, this is a very big change. Okay, a lot of you guys might have already used the keyboard image. What is that thing called? Image keyboard support. So basically it allows you to copy paste images from one window to another using your keyboard. It's there on Gboard. But Android 12 finally adds support for unified rich content API. So without digging much into the technicalities, let's just talk about how it works. So essentially what happens is that you can just, let's say you have a different window open. You can just go there, tap on the image, tap and hold on the image, select copy, go back to another window, any text window or any, basically for instance, we want to do Twitter. So I just go to Twitter, right? Like tap and hold here, tap and paste. That's it. Image, copied and paste. Also, if you are using multi-windows, you can drag and drop the images here as well. Now, speaking about things that make everything a lot more easier, you can also share your Wi-Fi passwords using Nearby Share. Like, you know, if you were too lazy or if you had a friend that was too lazy to scan the QR code, so now you can just tap on Nearby Share and then the other guy will tap on Nearby Share and then they'll receive the password and then they'll finally connect to the Wi-Fi. Now, another neat thing that Android 12 lets you do is change the media playback device. So basically, if you are listening to some audio or watching a video and currently it's connected to your earphones. So all you have to do is just open the volume panel, tap on the settings icon below it, and in the overlay that comes, just select the speakers option here and the audio will directly be redirected to your speakers. And this is far more convenient, you know, rather than having to go into the settings and select which device to play media from. Okay, now I personally have never been a fan of Pixel Launcher. I mean, yes, as good as it is, I personally just prefer using Nova Launcher considering I keep switching between different devices. So yeah, Nova Launcher is the way to go for me. But if you are a Pixel Launcher user, this thing is probably going to be a good feature for you. So just go into settings, display, styles and wallpapers, and now you'll have a new grid option for 4x5 grids. That is, well, something. I mean, it obviously lets you add more icons on your homepage without the homepage looking so cluttered or the icons shrinking a little bit too much. So yeah, it's a welcome change. Okay, this feature is not here on my phone because it's the Pixel 4a. This next feature is exclusive just to the Pixel 5 users. So similar to iPhone, you have the double tap to, well, launch a feature. Basically, you double tap on the back of the phone and it will, well, then launch the Google Assistant, turn on the flashlight, set the alarm, or basically you can customize the features and it works similar to how back tap on iPhones work. Now I'm guessing it's limited to Pixel 5 at this point due to some hardware limitations, but we'll have to wait for a word from Google to see what the reality behind this and how it actually functions, to be very honest with you. Okay, now with Android 12, you also get an all new safety and emergency section, something that I really want to highlight. Okay, so how it works is that there are a lot of features in here, but there are two features that I genuinely want to stress on. The first one here is emergency SOS. So the way emergency SOS works is that, well, it allows you to press the power button 5 times and it will automatically dial a number, emergency number of your choice. And okay, here's the thing. Apart from like other apps that lets you like tap the power button and it'll just call 911, this one actually allows you to set your custom number. And yeah, it's a far more convenient feature to have. And the next tool that this thing comes with is the car crash detection. So while it's not available here in India, the way it works is that, well, I don't actually know how it exactly works as in all the sensors that it uses. It's a very detailed document that I did not really fancy reading, to be very frank with you. You can check it out from the link in the description box. But what it does is that when the phone detects that you have been in a crash, what it does is that it automatically calls 911 or the emergency number for that country, which is why this is country restricted. It works only in a limited set of countries. So it'll automatically call 911, share your location with them, tell them that, okay, this person has been involved in a car crash. which is once again a very, very great feature to have. I mean, see, stuff like this can happen to anyone, and yeah, it's really nice to have such safety features inbuilt to your phone. Now, another big feature that Android 12 comes with is with support for AVIF or AV1 image format. So what AVIF is basically a replacement for JPEGs, which will allow you to store images in, well, smaller fractions or compressed formats without losing up on a lot of quality. I mean, here you can see a comparison of an image compressed using JPEG and another image compressed using AVIF. Now, whether Android 12 will end up using AVIF or HEIF for their camera photos is not known at this point of time, but it's nice to know that if you're using a device or just transferring AVIF images to your Android phone, it will not say, okay, not supported or something like that. It'll be able to showcase the images. So yeah, that is always good. Also, the big advantage with AVIF is that it's royalty free and open source. So that is another big plus. You can read more about AVIF down in the description box, but for what it's worth, it's a really nice technology. Now, if you're a gamer, this next feature is for you. Now, Android 12 comes with support for audio based vibration. So basically what happens is that your device will vibrate upon receiving feedback, different feedback based on your gunfire, footsteps, and will then vibrate onto different regions. Also, this data is directly sent to a wireless controller if connected to your Android phone. So this really boosts up or enhances your gaming experience. Now, speaking about boosting your gaming experience, Android is finally going to come with a dedicated gaming mode. Yes, Google is working on it. Whether it'll be as good as a lot of OEMs have their gaming mode, I'm not sure at this point. Honestly, it's not even enabled at this point. It's just a couple of strings in there. But yeah, it most probably will be delivered in the final version of Android 12. So that is another thing to look out for. And well, that was it. Now, like I said, everything that we discussed here is still a part of the developer preview 1, and there are still a couple of more updates and iterations to come. And as Google has shown us in history, a lot of these features might not make it to the final version, and a lot of more features might get added till the time we reach to the final stable build. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified for every time we put out a new video, because we will be making a new video every time a new Android update comes, talking about everything that's new, all the new features and everything. And it'll be a full series, so let's say the same features carry forward in the next update, I won't be talking about in depth about them again and again, right? So yeah, just follow the whole series. And yeah, we occasionally do put out some amazing tech videos other than Android 12 as well, which might help you guys out. So yeah, make sure to watch them as well. Till then, this is Varun from Guiding Tech, and I'll see you in the next one.